Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do basically a video on how to go about cleaning a litter robot. So I know for many of you, if you're considering buying this is something that's obviously one of the biggest issues when it comes to standard litter boxes. We actually still use regular standard litter boxes, but this is something that has really helped reduce the amount of cleaning that's required with normal litter boxes. So I wanted to talk about in this video what it's like to actually clean the litter robot and what you can expect in terms of that process. So first off, what I usually do, and this is basically ready to be cleaned, you can see going inside the litter robot here, the litter has basically been pretty diminished. We really don't have much left. There's kind of a ring, as you can see where I'm pointing my finger, that goes around the base here, and that's usually the maximum fill line for the litter. Now you want to make sure you're using some kind of clay-based litter. We use this one here. This is the one that I've been using. I used to use a brand called Dr. Easley's, but I've switched to this one here called Clump and Seal Slide, and this one actually works really well because it doesn't like stick to the surface in terms of number ones or number twos. Makes it a lot easier for the litter to slide out. Now in terms of emptying this, it's pretty straightforward. What you want to do is hit the empty button. This is going to spin and try to get rid of the remaining litter that's here. This is probably going to take a little bit of time. I'm not going to be able to show the entire process, but I'll be able to explain everything that we do. And you can see there's going to be a lot of remnants here on the base around the rubber portion of the actual litter robot. So again, this is going to empty out into our basin at the bottom. Normally we put like trash bags down here, but sometimes I won't even bother, to be honest, and you could just empty it and wipe the whole basin out. It will definitely save you time if you use the trash bags, but you will most likely have to continuously be buying those. So as you can see, it is going to remove quite a bit of litter, but this isn't necessarily going to get all of it. So when it finishes the rotation, you can see a lot of it there is emptying. It's going to come back, and then we're going to have to remove the remaining litter, and that usually isn't very easy to vacuum up. Sometimes this can also be a little finicky, like you can see it stopped here. Some of this could be because it thinks that maybe I'm here. If I hit empty again, now it's going back. What I do is I have a dedicated small powered vacuum. So this is something that's, again, powerful, and it's also something that's just generally going to be fairly easy to use. So this one has a cord that wraps up. I'll basically plug this in. I've got a plug here that I've got the same litter robot plugged into. I'll plug that guy in, and then I like to use the hose extension on this. So you can see this guy here, I'm not going to use the main vacuum itself, but rather just the small hose. I'll vacuum up the remaining litter that's inside, and then once I've done that, I'm going to take just a general cleaner. I actually don't have one in here, but you know, just some sort of general all-purpose cleaner. I'm going to wet a paper towel or a couple paper towels, and I'm going to wipe out all the remnants and then completely make sure you dry the inside of the rubber. So again, this sometimes can take a little bit of time with the rotation. If this gives you any issues, usually what I do is I power this off and then power it back on, and usually it'll kick on. You can see now it's gonna eventually come back. I think because of my hand motions, it thinks that I'm technically a cat trying to get into the unit. But once this rotates back, again, I'll wipe down the whole thing, and then at that point, pretty much all you do is add your litter. I will usually add it in, and then because it's clean litter, I'll kind of take my hand and just make sure it's fully like level to that line. If you go over that line, you're going to end up having problems where this is not going to turn and filter properly, and it's going to give you a lot of issues when it comes to cleaning the litter out. So overall, hopefully that gives you guys some idea of how to go about cleaning this and what to expect. This is, again, giving me a little bit of problems, I think, due to the sensor, but, you know, because of me being here. But overall, I'd say in terms of buying this and whether or not it's worthwhile, I've been pretty happy with the litter robot, but we do have 3 cats. We actually used to have 4 cats in the household, and I found this wasn't quite enough for all of them. So we added in extra litter boxes. This particular cat is actually very finicky. I don't know if she even really likes using the litter robot all that much. So we decided to keep other litter boxes in the area because of the fact that I wanted something that, you know, we wouldn't have issues with her deciding to like go on the floor or have other problems, things like that. And you know, I think overall it's been still very helpful to reduce the amount of regular cleanings and scooping that I would have been doing otherwise. So as you can see with the base clean here, quite a bit of the litter came back. So it's kind of now coming back full cycle. Usually I'll let this do all its rotation while I'm cleaning out other litter boxes and things like that. but there's still quite a bit left. I wouldn't be able to obviously clean this with just like your regular rag and paper towel. So I'm gonna have to clean all that remnants as well as vacuum this out based on what's here, but really isn't all that bad. There's more than enough capacity within this vacuum to get rid of the litter that's there and simply just empty it into a trash can. And I just dedicate that vacuum to that job. Anyway, hopefully you guys found this video helpful when it comes to cleaning the litter robot. That's the process I use, and I found it to be the most simple. And it's really only something you need to do when it's time to fully change out the litter, which is probably, in most cases, anywhere from a month to a month and a half, maybe potentially more, depending on how often it's getting used. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video, and I hope you found it helpful.